On the 27th of January, 2023, 45-year-old Nicola Bulley disappeared while walking her dog Springer Spaniel Willow in St. Michael's on Wye in Lancashire after she dropped her two daughters, aged 6 and 9, at school. At around 9:33 a.m., a local dog walker found Willow off her lead and Nicola's mobile phone on a bench nearby. The alarm was raised when Willow was found without his harness. The police immediately started the investigation and went through hundreds of hours of CCTV, dashcam footage, and spoke to numerous witnesses, including another dog walker who saw Nicola walking Willow earlier that morning at 9:10 a.m. When the local community and the rest of the world found out about Nicola's disappearance, people were getting increasingly concerned about her well-being and in the way that the police were handling her disappearance. Many believed that there was foul play and even turned their attention towards her partner, Paul Ansell. With the local community and the rest of the world following this case, naturally, many started speculating. On the 15th of February, the Lancashire police held a press conference stating, "There is no evidence to indicate a criminal aspect or third-party involvement in Nicola's disappearance." However, the Lancashire police garnered a lot of criticism when Detective Rebecca Smith, who is leading the investigation, said that Nicola was designated a high-risk missing person from the beginning of the investigation because of a number of specific vulnerabilities. It was later revealed that the specific vulnerabilities they referred to are some significant issues with alcohol and ongoing struggles with the menopause. A few days later, on the 19th of February, spiritual medium Jason Dean Rothwell, who visited the area with a friend, found Nicola's body in the Wye River about a mile from where she was last seen. He went to the site that day to see what he could pick up using his psychic gift. Jason has previously helped with the recovery of Michael Brooks, a 19-year-old who was found in a river in Lancashire after a 3-week search in February 2018. The police later confirmed that the body was indeed Nicola's, but the cause of death has not yet been established as the investigation is still ongoing. Hello everyone, as you can see, we're going to be talking today about the case of Nicola Bulley, who was recently found, unfortunately, deceased. The case is still ongoing. There are lots of questions going around about what happened. In the UK, it's been the topic of discussion for the last month. A lot of speculation has been flying around, a lot of blaming as well about whether the police force handled this correctly, this whole case, if it was handled correctly. The media, of course, got a lot of backlash, especially from the family of Nicola, because instead of giving them the peace and the privacy to mourn, they were hounding them with questions and for answers. It's very sad, but this is a case that you guys have asked for since it first came out, since it became like worldwide news about this. I received so many messages, and that's why I decided to start this new segment, this new show called True Crime Mysteries with FemmeTarot, to start with Nicola's case. Now, I just want to say that I'm not planning to channel Nicola today. I will be channeling for the other cases, the older cases for sure, but I don't want to channel Nicola for two reasons. First of all, I want to be very respectful towards her. I did pick up her energy while I was editing that video that you just saw, and she's exhausted. She's absolutely exhausted. She just needs peace. She needs time and space to understand where she is and what happened. And it's just too soon. Also, I want to be respectful towards her family. This is not now the time to channel Nicola or, just bring up anything that might add a lot more pain to them. So Today, so I want to say for the replay crew that these shows, these true crime mysteries are going to be, I'm going to be doing them live, okay, but for members only. For the members, you guys are watching the replay. I'm going to keep it in a safe space. If you want to be part of the live and participate in these videos, then you'll have to become a member for that. It's $2.99 a month. It's not a big expense. And also, it just this way you can ask any questions you want in the chat. And then we can do this like an interactive show where we're trying to find answers together. Right, everyone. I just want to start by saying a couple of things that a couple of a couple of messages and a couple of things that I got yesterday. So as I said, she's exhausted. Why is she exhausted? Because she's been in that water for weeks. Not only had she been in the water for weeks, unfortunately, what I did get, and this is not channeling Nicola, but this is just by tuning into this case, that not only was she in water for a long time, but unfortunately it was a very slow process of transitioning to the other side, and there was a lot of confusion. I want to hear from you, chat, any questions that you have. I do know that a lot of people want to believe that maybe her partner, Paul Ansell, was involved, or there was foul play, or something was off. There's been a lot of, there have been a lot of videos on YouTube and TikTok, etc., discussing about her and their, as a couple, their financial status, their the status of their companies. I think that's completely wrong. Everyone is trying to find answers by digging, but that's A, it's wrong, and B, it's not ethical, because not every case that's gotten so much attention is always foul play. Okay, some cases could be accidents. Now, here's what I have picked up. This was a terrible accident. This was a very terrible accident. The water's there. So I did some digging regarding the river and how that the geography or the geolocation is, how the whole thing. So, and I found a Reddit thread which was created by locals from that town. And several people said, oh, I lost a dog. I want to show you, for instance, I think I've got it here. I should have uploaded as an example. There are people who have claimed that they fell in the river, and the current is very weird in that river. And also there's no way, once you fall in, the waters are quite deep, or there are parts of it that are quite deep, and there's no way for you to climb out because of the the current of that river. It's a place, an area where a lot of accidents happen. Okay. So there are a lot of theories flying around. One of them was that maybe her dog fell in and she went to save her dog because they were playing. She was sitting on a bench. They found her phone on the bench, and the dog was off his harness, off his lead. And her family said that's weird, because she would never take off the harness of Willow, first of all, and second of all, she wouldn't leave her phone there. She was on a Teams call for work while she was walking Willow, while she was walking her dog. So if she left her phone on the bench, that means she was sitting on the bench. She was probably finishing her call, checking her phone, whatever it was. Willow was playing around. Now, I don't think that's exactly the case, but this is what I heard, but which is valid, okay, is that Willow, she threw the ball, like they were playing fetch, and he jumped in the river to get the ball, and he couldn't get out. She tried to get him out. She tried to pull him from the harness, tried to get him out, and she fell in. But here it is. why was Willow without his harness? If that was the case, if Willow fell in the river and she tried to save him, why did she take off the harness? Unless she took it off before. We will ask all these questions as well. The cards, guides, what's with that? I really feel that the clue is also with Willow. Yeah, I know he was the witness, but also the clues are there. Okay. They found the dog several hours later at the same spot. He was exhausted. He was wet. He saw the photo and on the video, like he was muddy, he was wet. So it does appear that maybe he fell in, but how did he get out without any help? Because there were no witnesses that witnessed a dog in the river, or they witnessed Nicola trying to get Willow out. How I see it and what I picked up was it was a terrible accident. I didn't get how the accident happened, but I don't feel there is foul play. There is no foul play because a lot of theories and a lot of speculation was flying around, and I don't. I really think that I really feel that it was an accident, and she couldn't. And the way that I felt her presence as well, the way I felt her being exhausted and cold, it also did not seem that she did it herself. Okay, I want to rule out that theory too. She did not do that to herself, because she would never do that to her dog. And also, she had just dropped off her girls in school. Someone who's been planning to do that wouldn't do it in that way. And they would find some other way to do it. And I know these decisions are made with a snap of a finger, but when you're also a mom and you're a responsible parent, let's say, she would have found another way. So, but anyways, I don't feel that that's the case. I'm telling you, I feel it's an accident. I want to look at the chat now. And so you guys, do you want to ask some questions? Now, I'm going to pull some cards because I want to find out a little bit more about the accident. What I didn't show you before, and sorry for jumping from one thing to the other, is that on Reddit, which is very interesting. If you go to Reddit, you just type in Nicola Bulley, you will find various threads. There is a thread of locals that there's a long thread discussing about that river and the accidents and things like that. And one of these posts I found extremely interesting because it validated what I was getting and what I was feeling. So I'm not going to read it out loud because it's quite long, but if you're watching this on the replay, then you can just pause the video so you can read this. It basically tells us that he lost his dog. His dog just disappeared in the river, that he fell in. They couldn't find him for days and days and days around the area where he fell. And eventually they found the poor dog miles away. So the river, and it's because of the way the currents are, the direction that the currents are moving. So which also doesn't surprise me, the fact that Nicola was not found where the accident happened, but was found about a mile away from that location, because it does really coincide with what this person is saying, right? Who's someone who lives in the area. So that is very interesting too. So now I'm going to ask the cards about the accident. Yeah, they should. It's very, very interesting that so many accidents are happening there. So all right. I closed my eyes. I asked my guides about the accident, and all I saw was black. Went dark. Because that's the last thing that she saw. Which is making me sad. Perfect. Happened like that. Happened very, very quickly. She was very unaware. She had Okay, let's not talk a lot about her because already the police did a lot of damage. Okay, they did a lot of damage with the crap that they said about her drinking issues and her being on menopause. That is unacceptable. How could they tarnish her reputation that way? Someone that they hadn't even found, they didn't even know what happened to her. The only thing I'm going to say, personal, we can revisit this case in a year or so or a few months, but right now let's keep it respectful for the family. But there were issues in her relationship with her partner. They weren't married, but they were life partners. As I said, it happened. She didn't have time to realize what happened. Extremely cold. I feel the river was really cold, which is one of the reasons why she couldn't try to like grab or climb herself out of the river. She froze, like literally, because she didn't have time to realize what happened. She fell in, and then I just feel like she froze. Like she couldn't react. Her body was just frozen. Panic, the cold water, everything. Now she was in a very let's say emotional state, or not in a good state when that happened, but not in a state where you would say that she did this herself. No, that's not what I mean, like any other human being who has families, businesses, homes, responsibilities, she had a lot in her on her mind. She was preoccupied. Kind of feel this is what happened, that she was just not all there. She was a bit and unfortunately from one minute to the other that happened. So yeah. Oh, I'm getting a lot of stuff about her. Okay. I promise you guys, I will tell you I'll tell you more, okay? But I'm not going to share some stuff because these are very, very private stuff and personal stuff for Nicola. So the dog was, I'm telling you, I'm getting the dog somehow there was a connection with Willow, with the dog. But what I don't feel that the dog, okay, here's what, okay, the guy's telling me this. She fell in the water and the dog fell in to try to save her, or because the dog thought that was part of the game. But he fell in with her. I don't know how he got out. So what I'm seeing is that he managed to get out. He did try to, or she did try to hold on to him, but so she could try to climb out up, but no. There was also the current. It was cold. Like she was just moving. It wasn't like she fell in and she was there and she could scream for help and someone would hear. It was just like the river was just taking her, and the dog managed to get out, which is why he stayed in that area. And he's a spaniel. Willow is a spaniel, and spaniels do tend to like they just show you where they're, what are they called, tracking dogs, I think they're called tracking, where they use their scent to hunt or to show their humans where the prey is. So that's why he stayed in that area, just to show whoever would come to look for her, to show where she fell, or where he last saw her. That's a clue with the dog. That Willow must have been one of her daughters. I feel it was her oldest daughter's favorite. So the oldest daughter of Nicola was very connected to Willow, to the dog. And there's something about that dog. It's almost like did they find him? Was he a rescue dog? I want to say that he was rescued. They got him from a shelter. They didn't get him from a breeder. And this dog is almost like he found them. So the Willow found this family. There is a connect. It's almost like he's a guardian or protector of this older girl, Nicola's older girl, which is interesting. Which is very interesting. Oh God. Oh my God. Okay. She's, just in case her family ever sees this video, she's very much around her mom. She sees her mom crying. Her mom is devastated. So is her dad. They're both not handling the situation at all well, understandably. Her mom is devastated. I mean, they have to give her, something relaxant for her to be able to function somewhat. So she's always around her mom. She feels terrible because she just doesn't feel that she was the perfect daughter, that she made quite a bit of several mistakes, and she wasn't always present when it comes to her family and her parents specifically. There is no foul play. That I don't see it. There is no foul play. I just see someone very tormented. Nicola had a lot going on. She's definitely in a much better place, meaning that she's at peace now, but she's exhausted. As I said, I'm sorry, I'm choking. This is like, this is what happens when I do these types of readings, and I'm choking because of I feel water in my mouth. And this is coming from Nicola. Let's see what else I'm getting. I feel so bad for her girls, you guys. I just feel so sad and bad for the girls. A lot of lessons to be learned. Why do I feel like 4 years ago there was another accident or something, some kind of like another brush with death? I feel around 4 years ago. Was it a car accident? Or was she a pedestrian that nearly got run over? This is what I'm getting as well. So, and since then she developed quite a bit of fear of death, of the unknown, of what's going to happen to her children. Now, this is very interesting. Speaking of children, I'm not sure. So what I'm picking up is either she does have a will that she drew, or she recently updated her will, okay, which is something that I feel the police might find sus during this examination that they're doing. But of course, we have to wait for the coroner's results to come out, the coroner's report to come out. But I'm telling you, I feel like water here, like I can't talk because there's water in my mouth. Or regarding the will, she was thinking of writing a will, but she never got around to do it. Now, I don't know why she wanted to write a will, but I do see that she did have financial issues. So financially, things weren't very great, or they weren't stable. But something intuitively probably made her think about writing a will. I'm checking the chat. Let's see. We always think the worst in these kinds of deaths because foul play seems to be common, unfortunately, especially to women. I agree. I absolutely agree. And you know what? I'd rather we all think that it's foul play and get a lot of coverage and a lot of media and press on a case so it gets solved the sooner the better, especially if it's a kidnapping or something like that, than us just assuming, oh, she'll be found. She's having a tantrum, or, oh, yeah, okay, probably she did it herself because she was going through severe issues. It is a sad story. UK press is the worst. It is. I mean, they handle this horribly. No respect whatsoever. Don't get the husband did a hit. How can psychics get such different? It's so confusing. Who got that he's responsible for that? I can't talk right now. Sorry. Who else said that? No, I don't see. Unfortunately, we can't even Google his sign, but King of Wands. I have a man here, a fire sign here, but I don't feel this is the husband. I don't feel the partner. I don't feel the partner was involved. Yes, there were issues between them. Okay, things were not rosy. Things were not going great. Okay, but a lot of couples are that way, right? A lot of couples have ups and downs, or they're in the middle of getting separating and they're trying to figure out how they're going to do it in a way that is best for the kids. But I don't feel it's him. I just don't. Yeah, the dog is a guardian. Absolutely. Are accidents part of one's destiny, or are they simply accidents? That's a very good question, Isa. No, accidents are sometimes they're accidents, sometimes they're pre-planned, let's say. Accidents do happen because we have free will. So, and we do make stupid decisions sometimes, and we get into accidents. Even if it's not even our fault, we will get into accidents. But when it is accidents that lead to death or life-changing or life-changing situations like disabilities, coma, all that, then these are pre-planned. These are part of your map, of your life journey, of your life map. Sort of times in my life I went outside nature to feel better. Things can happen when you're outside like that. I know people is around. You have to be careful. Absolutely. You never know. And if it's your time, guys, if it is your fifth exit, you've ignored all the, you've said, I'm not going to go. I'm going to wait till my last exit. Then it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Call it freak accident, call it anything you like. But it will, if it's your time, if contract is out, it's time's up. It's going to happen. It's not pleasant to talk about these things, but that's how it is. This is how it works, unfortunately. In her case, I've been trying to understand whether this was her final exit, so there was no choice. She had to go, or whether it was she just went with it. I feel there was a way that she could get out of that situation that she was in when she fell in, but I feel that she was not in a good state, so it was hard for her. She panicked, she was numb, I feel she couldn't really move, she was cold, and I don't feel that 100% she was all there, and she just couldn't get herself out of that situation. So it's sad. It's very sad. But this is what I'm getting, you guys. If indeed the partner or whoever comes out ends up being guilty, I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked, because from the first moment I heard about the case, and usually from the first moment when there's a case, I normally get like, something's off here, or I feel this person might be guilty, and usually I'm right. But with this case, at first it was like, yeah, something is off, but not in the way that there was foul play. I didn't pick up that there was that, especially Paul Ansell was responsible, or that she did it to herself. If she did it to herself, there's another thing. Sorry if I paused, it's because I'm tuning in. But also another thing, I don't know why these psychics have so many opinions, but especially because I know a lot of them just went on from the very beginning, from the moment that the world found out that she had gone missing. But another little thing is that if she had done this herself, if she had taken her own life, it would be very difficult for mediums to tune into her, to get any information, because that's a breach of contract and they're isolated for a while when they cross over. So it's very hard to connect with them. But I'm able to connect with her, but I'm not, I'm able to connect on the periphery, I'm able to connect with her. So that's also just completely confirms and validates the fact that she did not do this herself. Why did it take so long to find her? Because of the currents. Like, if you read the statement as well, that he says that it makes total sense. It's because of the way. So it is a river, but there's like lots of different little what are they called? Like, the riverbank is very, it's narrow, but at the same time it's very deep. So the current is very strong. So by the time that her family realized that Nicola was missing and they went to that location, Kern had already taken her far away. And they just, because the search was within a certain radius around where she fell in, where she disappeared. They didn't go any further, and that was a mile away, a little more than a mile away from that location. So it took, and also there are a lot of like weeds that grow. I don't know what the word is, like weeds that grow in the water, and those can really hide a person. Could a psychic get stuff around the passing and make assumptions about it being foul play, misinterpret? Listen, okay, psychics and mediums we're not foolproof. We can be wrong. Sometimes we can be wrong. Wires are crossed. The energy is off. We can have an off day. There are many factors coming in, but we don't make assumptions. The way I work, I don't make assumptions until I actually connect with someone from the other side who can give me some kind of clue of what's going on. Even if they don't want to give me the full story, they don't want to show me because I'm not meant to know it right now, they'll just give me some kind of clue. Okay, so intuitively, I will know this is foul play, this is not, this is good, this is bad, this is whatever. Sometimes we are blocked from seeing further. Okay, and that's there's a reason for everything. There's a reason for why that happens. So yes, you can sometimes misinterpret things. We are humans after all, so you can read, especially if you put your own interpretation in it, or you're biased. You go into a reading biased. Of course, you can misinterpret something because that's your bias coming forward into the reading. That's why it's better if you're a seasoned reader, a seasoned medium, a seasoned psychic, someone who's got experience and worked a lot with these types of cases, to talk about that. Because if you're not, you can make mistakes, and that can create a lot of issues. Okay. But yeah, psychic medium, even the best psychic mediums in the world, the most renowned ones, can make mistakes. We can. We're not God. We're not foolproof. It's just because there is that human element that also comes in. I hope that answered your question. Oh, you're welcome. That's the whole point. Rachel, the psychic Sue said it was a hit. I don't know, Rachel. Is she a good psychic? So, yeah, I mean, I've heard worse. Gabby or Sarah, I don't know. We're gonna confuse people. So Sarah Bay from Paris is Gabrielle. She used to go under the name Gabrielle. That's her name, but just so people don't get confused. But okay, I mean, it could be Maddie. It could be. Of course, you can have, for different cases, you can have different interpretations about readings. Even when you read about cases like Harry and Meghan. Okay, let's take another example. Harry and Meghan, a lot of readers read about them. And sometimes, and I do like to watch some of these readers when they read Harry and Meghan. The thing is, sometimes I don't agree, or I don't see what they're seeing or what's coming through the reading. It's not that what they're reading is wrong. It's just like how they interpret it is very different to how I interpret it. So I can't fault them. It doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just that they work differently. Maybe they're just tarot readers, or they're just clairsentient, so they feel things, and that they can misinterpret what they're feeling, for instance. So that's why I always use all of my abilities. I'm clairaudient, I'm clairsentient, I'm clairvoyant, I read tarot, I'm a medium. So for cases like that, or when I have a client and there's a very special case, what I do is I use everything. So I don't just rely on tarot, I rely on everything, all of my gifts. I call them gifts in quotes because I don't like, it's not like I wasn't gifted that, because we all have these gifts, but mine are a little bit more developed than others. Not just mine. Any healers are more developed than others, but we're all psychic. And I've talked about this. Now, regarding Nicola, I don't know if there's anything else, because I do want to revisit this later in the year, because there's more stuff, but I don't think that it's fair for me to come out and say them before the police or the family knows about these things or talk about these things. I feel the coroner's report is going to come out, I don't know, I feel like I get a 10, so 10 days or 10th of March, something like that. I feel sorry for those girls. She did have, though, I can tell you, because we talked about the will, I can tell you one other thing that I feel. She did have some kind of like pension plan or some kind of insurance plan set up for her girls. She did, which is interesting. Maybe that's what, maybe, you know what, maybe other readers pick up what's been going on in her life and her dynamic and her relationship with her partner. And they then, as I said, that's when you start using your own bias, right? Because you're like, oh, okay, I see that, yeah, they had financial problems, and I could do that too now. Oh, why did she write her will? Or why did she decide to recently to, add her girls in this insurance plan? And that's sus, that's sus. I feel that maybe it's him. Maybe he's the one who convinced her to do that because he wanted her out. I'm just saying, this is possibly what could also happen. I don't know. If you don't have any other questions about Nicola, then I think we will just leave it here for this video. Definitely the next videos, next lives are going to be much longer, because there are going to be a lot more complicated cases out there. I do want to talk about, now I will talk a little bit now about the Madeleine McCann case. So there is a girl who is 21 years old, and she claims that because she doesn't have any memories of her childhood, and because she's never seen her birth certificate, and there's a lot of crypticism and mystery about her childhood from her parents. Like, she's missing baby photos. Her parents are not giving her a lot of information about her childhood, the kindergarten too, etc. And she's got this colostrum thing, which is this marking on her eye too, as Madeleine. So she says, she came out on TikTok and said, I'm Madeleine. I think I'm Madeleine McCann. I'm almost the same age as Madeleine, and I don't remember, and I have no memories or any proof or any photos of my life before the age of 3 or 4. And as soon as I saw that girl, and I started following her too in the beginning, because I was like, oh, interesting. Why interesting? But I don't want to give you a spoiler for the Madeleine McCann video, though. I don't. But I will ask you guys, what do you think happened to Maddie? Do you think that she's alive somewhere, that do you think that she was sex trafficked? Do you think that, someone kidnapped her and she's now living under a completely different name, a different life? She is completely oblivious of who she is and what's going on. Do you think she was murdered? Do you think her parents are involved? What do you guys think about that? And I think we'll talk about that next week, because it is relevant, because I have a lot of thoughts and I can tell you about this. One thing I'm going to say, and I'm not going to spoil anything else, that girl on TikTok is not Maddie. It's not Madeleine. No. I will explain next week. I will explain next week, and I will get into that, and I will do another very detailed video, because this case really shook me. For years, I was in England when that happened. It shook me, and 2 years ago, she did come to me. 2 years ago. That was during the pandemic. Yeah, it was at the beginning of the pandemic, just before lockdown. She came to me, and I have a lot of information. I've saved a photo, which I want to share with you, because this is information that she gave me. And before you say anything, even people that are alive, they're with us, I can still connect with their higher selves. I can still connect with their energy. I can still talk to them. So it doesn't necessarily mean because I saw someone's spirit or I spoke to their higher self that they're no longer with us. Just putting it out there. Thank you guys for the wonderful words. You can't imagine how much it helps me. And it really warms my heart when I get these like beautiful messages from you guys, especially when you email me or you DM me after private readings and you just, tell me how much it changed, not your life, but how you see your life, how you feel a lot more motivated and you have the incentive to make those changes to be happy, and how you are, what are the steps that you're making to grow and to heal from past trauma. It really warms my heart, you guys. Yeah. So let's see. Things something happened at home during the trip. She done the vacation at home. I think we're talking about Madeline, right? Yeah. I'm wrong though. I will leave everything for the next bit. There is a lot to talk about this case. So that one is going to be a long one. I can tell you there's a lot. It's complicated case, the Madeleine McCann one. And there are lots of theories that are flying around. And I have my own theory, and I will try to channel her if she comes through. So you guys, thank you so much for joining this first episode of True Crime Mysteries with FemmeTarot. I'm excited for next week. I will announce what day we will have our Madeleine McCann live. And so replay crew, just a reminder, please like this video, share this video. Okay, by all means, please share the video. We do want to grow our community. We do want to have like-minded people and soulful people in this community, because we can learn from each other and we can help each other. And this is the whole point of doing this. When I started this channel, this was the whole point. I was like, I want to help the world. I want to teach the world what I know, what I learn. I'm still learning. Guys. I'm not a guru. I'm not a shaman. I'm still learning. Gifts and abilities change, by the way. Excuse me. I still have that water sensation in my throat, in my mouth and throat. So we're and I'm learning, because my abilities are getting sharpened. I'm getting different ones, new ones. There's a lot. That's why spirituality is not something that is black or white. It's something that you learn through, like, every day. It's a learning process for all of us. Thank you all for joining. See you next time. Bye, you guys. Thank you.